We alkalize to realize the body is the temple, water is the source of life. We breathe in life and then we synthesize. This liquid sun will free your glands and begin to decalcify. Peer through your third eye, see through the lies and give your body what it's missing. We dehydrated, and that's the human condition. But when you clean the body and believe the body, you set yourself up to receive the body. See, it's a sharp knife, that's the water of life. It's like a sword cutting parasites down the sides. It takes a certain kind of faith to know that you're divine. And if it comes from urethra, then it's alkaline. We serve in truth, and it don't matter how weird it really gets. It's the linchpin ascended masters to initiates. We alkalize to realize. Open your mind and find you had it inside this whole damn time. We alkalize to realize. Open your mind and find you had it inside this whole damn time. You had it inside this whole damn time.
So I've just done an aged iron enema, and just check out this parasite. Starts here, goes all the way down there. Look at the tail. Just huge. The older the iron I use, the more powerful it is. It is just incredibly powerful. I can't believe it. Because I'm doing enemas, it is a bit more difficult to get the parasites out of the water. So they break apart, but yeah, there is nothing more powerful than aged urine. Herbs all will not do this. That's why you'll find people like Dr. Morse spreading his disinfo about kidneys filtering and all that nonsense. Because this is what happens when you use your aged iron, and it's free. I encourage everyone to experiment and do your own research. Do your own independent research. More plaque in here. Sorry, I know it's graphic, but I have to show it because we need to talk about this. We need to get these things out of our bodies. So important.
Great. The Melon Man here. And today I am doing an interview for Alkalise to Realize. That's my good friend Lee Robert Molson. He's the producer of the show. Are you familiar with the page?
Yes, I know Lee. Yeah, and I know the page as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Great. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have a chance to speak with you today.
Thank you, John.
You're in Australia?
Yes, that's correct. In
Where
Melbourne.
in Australia?
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Down the bottom.
Down the bottom. Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We are on opposite ends of the world, really.
We are.
Okay,
Opposite times.
I'm in Toronto, and so we're about 16 hours apart?
I think so, yes.
Wow.
It's 7 a.m. Is it 7 a.m. there for you?
It's, yes, 7 a.m. here.
Yeah. 11 something here.
11 p.m.
Yeah.
Wow.
Past my bedtime.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
But it's worth it.
Bedtime, for sure, past bedtime. Wonderful. So Jessie, tell me a little bit about you. How old are you?
I am 32.
32.
I'll be 33 in September. Yeah.
Okay. Are you married?
I'm not married. No. No.
Okay. Do you have children?
No.
No.
No children. No.
Okay.
Just a big kid.
And so, you know, I'm not sure much about what it is you're doing there, but I mean, Lee suggested that I get in touch with you, so I know you must be into consciousness. You must be into awareness.
Yes. I've been doing some pretty heavy cleansing and detoxing.
Detoxification. Excellent.
Yes. Yep.
How long have you been doing that?
Well, I started urine therapy 3 years ago. So I started basically looping all of my urine all day. And about April last year, I started doing a mucoid plaque cleanse and removing the mucoid plaque from my body. So the old rubbery fecal matter, all that good stuff, parasites and the works.
So now what methods are you using to detoxify your body?
So I started with a juice cleanse. So I really went into it. I'd never even done a juice cleanse before, but I went into it, I'll just do one day. And then I was like, I'll do 2 days. And I ended up on day 3. And my friend sent me a video about removing mucoid plaque. And I did have it in the back of my mind, but I didn't have a process. Anyway, so this gentleman who was in the video, he sort of laid it out, you know, you do 10 to 14 days juicing, enemas every day. And then on day, when the enemas start to get clean, on day 10 to 14, you can start taking a mixture of psyllium husk and bentonite clay. So I was like, right, let's go. Getting to day 10, I'm getting this stuff out and it's happening. So I started doing the, of course, aged urine enemas. I'd already had a little bit of experience doing the aged urine enemas, so they were familiar for me. And I was taking out, I basically took out all the feces from the tract. So even by day 11, by day 10, 11, there was still feces coming out, even though I was on no solid foods whatsoever. So I was having, not even like in the video, of course, that I sort of learned everything from, he wasn't talking about urine therapy. He was just saying, do the juicing. So I, of course, incorporated the urine therapy into it as well. And I was only drinking 2 liters of juice a day. I was drinking the celery, green apples, I call it the green blast, celery, green apples, parsley, coriander, lemon, and ginger. So this would be like the main drink I would have. And then I would have maybe a half a liter of pineapple juice and the rest, all of my urine. So looping all of my urine all day. I hadn't started aged urine protocol yet. So this was the first time. I've actually done this cleanse 5 times. So this is the first one that I'm talking about. By day 10, I noticed that the enemas had started to become empty of the feces. So I started taking the bentonite clay and psyllium husk. So it's just 1 teaspoon. You start on day 1, 1 teaspoon in just a cup of distilled water. And sure enough, the next day I had the first evacuation of the mucoid plaque. And when I saw it, I was just like, whoa, I can just keep going now. Like I want to keep getting all of this out. And I kept going. And then, more and more started to come. And then you break after 6 days on the bentonite clay and psyllium husk, just so you don't become immune to the mixture. And then I decided I'm going to go again, because I started talking to some people that had done it as well. And they said a number of 7 cleanses is necessary to get it all removed from the intestines. So I knew that I had a big job ahead. So I braked for a week and I kept juicing this whole time. And then I did it again. And then I braked again and kept juicing. And then I did it again. So I did it 3 times in a row in that one sort of space of a month. And then after that, I just went raw foods like straight away. I couldn't go back to the cooked foods after I'd seen that come out. And I'd previously been trying to go raw for 2 years prior to that. So for me, it just changed everything. Like my cravings for cooked food just disappeared. They completely disappeared. It was amazing experience. As soon as you removed this plaque that was deep inside of your intestines. Yes. Yeah. And I guess it was an emotional, but it was also seeing it come out too, like really seeing what is in our intestines from decades of eating this toxic sludge food, yeah, I couldn't then cook my meals and then put it back in. I didn't see any point in that. So yeah, I went to raw foods pretty much straight away. I moved up to the tropics as well. So I live in my van most of the time. I'm at home at my family home at the moment, but I was in my van and yeah, straight onto the raw foods, and it was amazing. Yeah, so high on life. And then yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, when you remove all of that toxic sludge that's inside of us, you just have such a great contact with the internal source energy. So you say high
Yes.
on life, you're really feeling like you're very, very connected to your root energies and the fruit
Absolutely.
and the loving light of life, right?
Absolutely. I could breathe so deep. I mean, I'd looked into breath work and it had always interested me, but I'd never done any breath work. But when I did this, I could just do the breath work. It just happened. Like I could just feel so deep in my intestines, and my dreams became more clear, and yeah, manifestation. I mean, it really just, everything started happening and changing, and I felt my calling, I guess you could say, to help people. And I started putting all of this online as well and helping people, and I just got flooded with messages. People were so respondent, and it was so fantastic as well, because I was such a big advocate of urine therapy. I knew the power of urine therapy, but this really gave a physical evidence to urine therapy that wasn't sort of just like somebody's, oh, I feel better and things like that. Even though it is amazing, it was like people were seeing this stuff come out, and it made the juicing a lot cheaper too, because when people do this juice cleanse, it's like you need like 6 to 8 liters of juice a day, which can be quite expensive, paying for the herbs and stuff to do enemas. Whereas with urine therapy, it's completely free. So yeah, that was why I'd really never done juicing before, because I was always like, oh, it's so expensive and I need to buy this $800 juicer. And, I just did it with a $120 juicer that someone gave me, and it works beautiful. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
So you were doing juice, but more just using your own body's waters, your own urine that your body's producing, which doesn't cost anything.
Nothing.
But similarly, it's structured, distilled water that comes through the highest detoxifier distiller in the planet, which is the human kidney.
Yes.
You're getting the waters from the human kidney. You're drinking that. That is so similar in structure to what we get from plants, what we get from fruits. So the fluids are the same, and you can use urine, aged urine, or fruit juices, or vegetable juices.
Yes, absolutely. I think the Oran is unparalleled, even to the juice. By day 15, I actually wanted my Oran more than the juice, because I knew intuitively it was hydrating me more. It was less foreign to my body. So I've really noticed that. I was sort of drinking the juice because I was like, just for a bit of taste, but I actually felt much better just from my own water, which tasted heavenly because I was on the juices anyway. So
well, when your body is so clean like that, what comes through you is really just like fresh water.
Yeah. Truly magic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so do you think that there is something special that separates our own water from the juice?
Oh, for sure. It's made in this divine alchemical laboratory, and it's unparalleled to anything outside of us. I truly believe, as a physical therapy, as an emotional therapy, as a spiritual therapy, it is just, it's a godsend.
We have to trust what's within ourselves.
Yes, that's really what it's about. I mean, I think people are so they see urine therapy as so taboo because we don't trust ourselves. And why would we when we've had a lifetime of propaganda telling us that we're, unworthy, and we need this, and to buy this, and to shave this off, and to cut that off. And to cover this up. And, you know, we're constantly told that we're not good enough.
We're not
Yep.
enough. What's inside of us is potentially dangerous. What, you know, we have to be careful of what's inside of us.
Absolutely.
Fear.
And I understand, because, and it's also that childhood programming, you know, it's lumped in with feces and dirty, wash your hands, smelly, urinals. People think urine therapy smells like a urinal. It's nothing like that. I mean, fresh urine, it barely even has a smell. And I know from the first time that I drank it, I just was, I was, of course, a part of me was like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yes.
But then something deep inside was like, no, you've done this before. You've done this before. This is natural. And this is the way. And I'm just so grateful that I trusted that inner guidance, because I really didn't have so many people around me that were doing it. And, you know, you have your family and stuff that say things, and it's sort of like, it affects you. Like, it definitely affects you.
It does.
And but now I'm just, and since I started the aged urine protocol, and this just changed the whole game for me. So I started that at the end of last year, about November last year. I just decided, because I'd had SIPs and stuff, and I follow Monica, and she's been such an amazing teacher for me, and I always trusted what she said, but I just, you know, I couldn't get past that smell. Of course, it's a potent smell, but I just decided, I was in the van and I had some aged urine stored with me in the van that I would use for body rubs and face rubs and wounds as well. And I just went, I'm gonna do it. And I sculled half a litre in one go. Like, I just opened and I just, and then I was like, I don't really notice anything. The next day, I didn't need to eat. I wasn't hungry. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is going on? And so I just started juicing, and I moved to 1 meal a day. So I've been on 1 meal a day for 3 months. So since November, however long that is now. Just 1 meal a day and a juice. So that was fully from the aged urine, which just, I can't, that's when I really, really started speaking about urine therapy online, when I felt that power, because I did that one half a litre, and that lasted for about a month. And then before I started ingesting it every day. So now I don't really drink so much fresh anymore. I was previously looping all my fresh, and I just drink the aged urine, and it's amazing. I dry fast all day. I can dry fast all day with absolute ease. And I drink I break my fast at about 4 or 5 with about 120 mils of aged urine. And then I'll have a litre of juice and a small fruit meal. So,
amazing. So we can be sustained completely, even with minimal food, like almost no food, juices, and our own waters.
Yes.
and not only just function, but function at a higher level.
At a much higher level.
Function.
At a much higher level. Yes, absolutely. And with so much just faith in ourselves, in our own ability. I really feel so self-sufficient, and I've just got this amazing medicine, and I don't have to rely on anything else. You know, I've been into health for so long, and I'm a Virgo, so I'm very ruled by the digestive area, and I've always been into health. But for me, it was always like, you know, $1,000 on these herbs, or, you know, so much money. And I've got something that is working better than all those things combined ever could, for free. And all we really pay is our willpower, our ability to break through that deep-seated program that it's a waste product. So I think
it's really just a change of mind that has to happen. And it's fighting our programming that this is bad, this is wrong, this is dirty. What's everybody going to think? What's everybody going to say? How am I going to be looked at? How am I going to be viewed by my family? What's going to happen? It's worry and fear that stops us from stepping into our truth, into our light, into our greatest power, which is within us.
The only way out is in. It's never made more sense to me, that saying. It's just,
And then once you really discover this, you just feel inspired, like you want to tell everybody, listen, you don't need to live in that discomfort anymore. Like, you can overcome that.
Absolutely. And it really, I felt really when I drank it, those fears washed away, but almost by themselves, because you get a new download, a new program comes in, and it's literally just from you. You know, you don't have to go to a guru, because you are that guru. That's what's so beautiful about it. It's not, hey, listen to me, I've got this secret, or it's in everybody. We're all like this amazing magical being.
Yes.
And it's just, yeah, I felt so
one.
yeah.
We are all one. We are all united as one being. We're masculine and feminine. We're androgynous.
Yep.
They're both within us, and the way to come back to that is to clean and purify the body so that we can connect to that energy that is within every single one of us.
Yes. Yes.
And like that, it's alchemical as well too.
For sure. And one of the things that I first noticed after I had that first cup, I remember going for a walk outside and being like, you know, I wasn't I was a shy person, not extremely shy, but I was like saying hello to everyone. Hello. That's something that I would never, ever do. Like, but I just felt this immediate connection to everybody. And it was just, yeah, it was amazing. Like, amazing. And that's just the first on the list, really, of the things that I noticed. But that was the first thing that it really did. So it brings us back to that oneness, for sure.
Oneness.
Faster than anything else.
Right. Amazing. And I just want to touch on the enema, because this is another one that people are, you know, ooh, gross.
It's the best.
Enema is a part of the healing, the natural healing process. It's empty days. It's natural raw foods. I call them the first foods, the foods
Yep.
that are created by the light of our sun. And it's also the elimination of waste, and that requires the enema. And the urine is an awesome asset if we can overcome the mental blocks that we've got associated with that.
Absolutely. It is. People pay for therapists, flotation tanks, relaxation massage. I do enemas. And it is, yeah, they are incredible. And a lot of people seem to be worried, like, oh, can it flush out the good bacteria? And I say, what we've been doing to ourselves, eating this toxic, mucus forming, starchy, dead food, nothing can harm us after we've been doing that. This is only a healing. We need this to help remove this damage that's been caused. And it's full of probiotics and everything anyway. So it replenishes. I mean, it replenishes everything. The way you feel after an enema. If I'm feeling foggy or a little bit, you know, frazzled, I do an enema and everything just comes back. I'm just switched on. And I sleep with it in as well. So I'll do my flushes, but I'll actually sleep with like a syringe or 2 syringes in, and I have such clear dreams. I wake up in the morning feeling amazing. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. Oh, and one more thing, that for removing the parasites. Oh my goodness, the aged urine enemas, amazing. I am removing parasites every day doing them. So yeah, they're just, yeah, godsend.
People worry about enema. We don't need to worry about it. It's not dirty. It's not messy. It's really all stuff you've got in your mind. You just need to ask some questions. People need to ask questions. People need to be not afraid to ask questions.
And also to experiment. Like, you get better, just like with anything else.
Experiment. Yes.
Exactly. It's just practice. You know, my first enema was a bit like, oh, is this how they're going to be? And then the next one, you get better and better and better until you're just, you know, an absolute pro. It's such a therapy. For me, it's like, it's the best therapy ever. Yeah.
Our own
syringe
personal
method.
therapy, our own personal therapy that's bringing us back to ourself. People are confused, thinking that the answer is something they need to get. It's something that they need to do. It's an exercise. It's a certain specific food they need to buy. It's something that they need to do. It's something they need to get. They need to purchase. You don't need to purchase anything. You don't need to get anything. You don't need to find anything. all of the answers that you need are within you. You just need to find that source of energy within you. And that can be found just by emptying out your body. It's by unfooding the body. It's by removing things from the body that we find the truth that is within every single one of us.
That's right. And I think, people are afraid to give up food, not realizing that on the other side of that is something even better than food. It's self-sufficiency.
It just blows food away, that you're just going to be, that once you get into that world, that you're inspired to encourage others to come there, because you're like, listen, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Let that go.
And now, just come and test it out.
The process of unfooding is not easy, though. I'm 4 years into my process, and I'm still fighting with food addictions. And I have a family, so when I'm eating with my family, I fall right back into it, and then I'm having to
absolutely
out of it, in and out of it, back and forth.
It's a spiral. It's definitely not linear. That's something that I've learned as well. It is not linear. It is a spiral. We go in and out, up and down. And I think the mistakes are really not the mistakes, but when we do indulge in the foods again and we realize how we feel, then it makes us work a little bit harder the next day, And I heard once from a breatharian, such a wise statement. He said, we eat our way to breatharianism. And it's so true. It's so true. It's not an overnight process. And I don't even think, my dream really is to become a breatharian, but I don't think I will be a full-time, never ever eating. I just think it's about not needing food to survive. It's about
That's
enjoyment.
It's about true choice, because people think they have choice now. They don't have choice. They have no choice. They have to eat 3 to 5 times a day. That's
right.
Not choice. That's being controlled by food.
That's right.
See how we are addicted to the food. Control is that I can choose to not eat today, and that's okay.
Yeah, and feel amazing and feel healing benefits from it, rather than like, oh, I'm starving and that was painful. And absolutely. It's really about food freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's to step into our own power within ourselves, that we don't need to have the food, right?
Exactly. And we can have it for, like you say, eating with your family for an enjoyment of a moment. And this is where I find myself eating the most too, is when I'm with other people and I'm wanting to, I guess it brings us together. It brings us together and we get on the same wavelength. And that's really what we're looking for is deep connection. So, yeah.
Right. So eating at a social engagement, eating on the weekends, eating for a birthday party, eating for a Christmas, Easter, eating for social gatherings. But for the most part, trying to work on not really getting my joy and happiness from food, my satisfaction from food the time, and feeling quite comfortable, feeling better when I'm empty, and realizing that. And then, slowly letting go of the food a little bit more, every
day
through the process. And it's a process.
Yep. It's a big process. We've spent our whole life, even in the womb, mum was eating all the time. So we've spent our whole existence with that constant. So it takes time to unravel that, but it's a journey, and a beautiful journey. Every day I'm really so grateful for the old life that I had, because it's so polar opposite to this one. I mean, I could go on forever about the foods and the takeaway, and I was the Macca's queen. It was a whole nother life for me. So
that inspires us now, because we see the difference of what's happened. We see the change that's happened within us. That propels us forward. And a lot of the time, people that aren't familiar with this lifestyle, they can't understand, how do you know, and why are you so certain, and why are you following that? But it's because you've got an internal reference point.
Yes, I can feel it. Like I heard it from other people. Yeah, and I'm feeling it for myself. I feel so good when I'm empty. I'm so clear. I know which way to go. But when I'm constantly bogging down with the food. I feel cloudy. I feel confused.
I'm
I
thinking
can't
about
breathe.
food. It
I'm
affects my
thinking,
sleep.
yes, you're on that constant, just like a drug addict. I would
When
really
am I
compare
eating
it with it.
next? When am I going to eat? It's,
When's my next hit? When's my next hit?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which is why I love the 1 meal a day at the end of the day, because it's the end of the day, and I'm winding down now, and I've done everything I wanted to do for the day, and I've got that sort of like reward, which I'm sure eventually will fall away as well. But yeah, it really is. It's such a wonderful, amazing feeling being empty and clear and in really connection with God. I really feel like when these intestines are empty, we are in direct communication with God, with our higher self.
With our God energy, with the light within us, with the loving force that's within us, the one force that is here on the planet that we are all of and all from and all connected to.
That's right.
Wonderful. Right. So you used bentonite clay and psyllium husks.
Yes.
Herbal things that you use that were very beneficial in the cleansing process. Herbs are helpful. Herbs can be very helpful.
Definitely. It definitely sped it up. I know when I started posting my results online, I did get messages from people saying that they'd done a 60 to 100 day juice fast and water fast, and it just came out naturally by itself, the plaque removal. But yeah, I really feel like the bentonite clay and really more the psyllium husk, it gets everything. If you can't do a 100-day juice fast straight up, like I certainly couldn't have done a 100-day juice fast with all that in my intestines. The psyllium husk is fantastic for getting it moving along quickly, so you can get to that stage of 100-day juice and water fasting, because it really took away so much cravings for me. I mean, there's definitely still emotional things tied in there with food, but in terms of willpower, it catapulted. And I was even cooking vegan meals all the time for my family member, because I'm wanting him to go vegan. So I was full on cooking, and I've never really got into cooking before like that. And I was not even tempted, and still even now I'm not even tempted, just because of this metamorphosis that I went through from taking out that plaque. It just, it really changed everything. And also removing the parasites too, because I really feel they fuel so much of the cravings for us. It's their livelihood to get this stuff. So a lot of the time they would come out wrapped around the plaque as well. So yeah.
So you touched on something there that I think is really important, is having a partner or having a family that's not vegan or not pursuing the same thing that you are.
Yep. Yes,
and I live with that as well too. My family is not doing this. Like, they're involved. My family is mostly vegan. So that's not a big one. But I mean, they're not fasting, and they're certainly not connected to kind of an inner center, and they don't have anything knowledge of that or understanding of that, and they're certainly not indulging in urine therapy. And in fact, they've been very vocal against
it
at points, and we've overcome that and reconciled that in our family now, which is great. But all of that separation that comes from the outside world, like that's a challenging bit, the relationship.
It is.
And having a relationship that's not judgmental and not
it really is. Urine therapy can be incredibly isolating, because you really are separated from the rest of the world in terms of that, because you got kind of essentially got to keep a secret. And it's when we have to keep that secret that we don't feel as social, or we're just on different wavelengths, really. but I do feel like it's changing. I definitely feel like this year has just been, for me personally, when I speak about it with people, people seem so much more open compared to 3 years ago, where it would just be like, people would look at me like, what? What are you doing?
You couldn't really tell people about that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're coming into Aquarius now, the water bearer. I think everything's shifting.
Crossing my fingers that will be something that people will be able to talk about.
Definitely.
That people won't judge you because of that, and people won't hate you because of that.
Absolutely. Well, I think at one point or another, we all need a healing modality, and sooner or later, people are going to realize that they need to use this therapy to heal. So that's when we'll get the worldwide acceptance of it. Because we've all got healing to do. No one's exempt from healing.
We all have things to be healed, all of us, even if we don't have a disease. I mean, we have sleeplessness or emotional stuff, or all of us have things to be healed. Lots of things, aches and pains in the body that need to be set right. What about exercise?
Exercise? I'm pretty lazy.
No,
I don't. I mean, I walk. I walk like my dogs, like for an hour a day. So I go on a big barefoot walk. I like stretching my body. I'm not really into I'm not really into like doing like particular poses or anything like that. I like doing handstands. I like really just having fun. I love sunbathing, so I find that's my meditation, and that's when I'll do sort of like backward walkovers and handstands, and
so I find some flexibility and movement that way.
Yes.
But not any formal exercise of any kind, just gentle exercise, flexibility and movement.
Yes, and sweating, and I do the aged urine rubs as well, which I'm all for now. I've felt that's another amazing way that you can get it into you without having to drink it. If you're a little bit, against the drinking or afraid of the drinking, doing the aged urine rubs is just fantastic. It's another enema therapy style that is just incredible.
So good for your skin. So good for your skin. To take away years off of your skin.
Oh, incredible. And I just wanted to touch on one more thing that actually Monica got me onto just recently, using a cinnamon essential oil. You could also use peppermint essential oil. After drinking the aged urine, you just put a little bit on the tongue. No taste whatsoever. So for people who are totally, cannot stomach it, like I was, before I felt the power of it, I was, a bit averse to drinking it. The essential oil on the tongue is just phenomenal. You taste nothing. It's
awesome.
Wonderful.
You talked about barefoot walking.
Yes, love it.
So you put your feet on the ground. Is that a daily thing for you?
Yes, every day. I really do not wear shoes unless I absolutely have to. And really that's only like coming from people's looks and stuff if we go into a plaza or something like that. But I always barefoot walking. Yep.
So,
love it.
Instead of your exercise, your formal exercise, you're grounding daily.
Yes.
You do your yoga, your stretching, your flexibility. You talked about getting into the sunlight. You're in the sunlight daily?
A lot. Yes, daily. If the sun is shining, at least 3 hours I try and do. And nice. I'll do the rubs in that time. And
nice. So you do
I love it.
Your urine rubs out in the sunlight.
Yes, and the enemas too. Yes,
and the
in the backyard.
Sunlight, laying out in the yard.
Yes.
Beautiful.
It's my favorite way to do it.
Beautiful. So you're getting your grounding and you're getting your sun gazes, and that's how you're getting your connection with the universe. The energy of our sun is coming down. It's your photosynthesis.
Absolutely. Human.
You are connecting with that light of the sun and taking and absorbing that energetic
amazing information.
That
light codes
coming in the light.
Drinking the light and bathing in the light.
Drinking the light, putting the light on your skin, grounding yourself on Mother Earth, because we are between these two forces. The force of our Earth magnetism, our mother.
Yes.
That is minerals, and that is ground, and that is rock, and that is a part of us. And then we are electric. We are the light energy of our sun. We are
Yes.
both. This is
Yes.
the human experience is an alchemical experience.
Absolutely.
A union of two forces between the earth and the sun. We are the being that can marry these two forces within us, the Father Sun and the Mother Earth, the feminine and masculine energies that must
Yes.
be blended within us for us to come back to our source, to come back to the true power and essence and being of light that we really are.
Absolutely. Perfectly said. Yeah. Perfectly said.
Wonderful. So you're doing the grounding and the sun gazing daily, and you talked on
Yes.
just being in the sun and meditating, and you said hours a day.
Yes. If the sun's shining, I'll at least aim for 3 hours.
There you go. I'm
Yep.
2 to 5 hours a day in
Yep.
meditation. In the summertime in Canada, I'm out in the sun a couple hours a day as well too.
Beautiful.
You know, 2 to 5 hours a day I'm spending in meditation. So that's the very first, as I wake up between 3 and 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., I'm starting my day in my bed, sitting or laying on one side, laying on the other side, laying on my back, and just coming to my breath.
Beautiful.
Just being with me. Just connecting with my internal energy.
And that's such a beautiful way to wake up too, you know, just with ourselves, not with television or screens or being bombarded. Yeah.
With what we need to do, not jumping up into what we need to do, but just be. Not do, just be. And that's just consciously being with your breath, watching your breath, and then affirming to yourself. It's an excellent time for affirmation, or it's an excellent time to just watch the thoughts, mindfulness, not reacting to the thoughts, but just watching them. There they are. There it is. Oh, there it is again. The desire to do this. There it is. The thought to do this. There it is. The thought of what has happened, but not reacting to the thought. That's mindfulness. Just being with it. Being with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sitting
Beautiful.
in consciousness. This is great in the sunlight. This is great with the feet on the ground. This is great in a workout. This is great in a yoga session. This is great going for a walk. First thing in the morning. It's some time in the day that we're spending being with the self. Being with the self can be drinking your own waters, your own fluids. Being with the self can be eating the same structured waters and fluids and distilled waters that are in fruits and vegetables.
Yep.
Being with the self can just be in stillness, in emptiness, where I'm not putting in something from the outside. I'm just sitting and being with the energy that is within me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No rights or wrongs here. This is a process of coming back to our own true identity, to our own true power. This is what this is about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's our own versions of therapies and what really makes us feel good. Really, essentially what makes us feel good.
No right or wrong. Everyone's going to find their own little niche of things that they gravitate to, that they're attracted to. Right? We're all inspired by different things. Some people it's disease. Some people it's overweight. Some people it's physical pain in the body. Some people it's sleeplessness, anxiety, or paranoia, or digestive issues. It could be anything that's triggered you. But you just realize that what I'm doing has created what I have in my life. And if I want something else in my life, I need to change
do something else.
My life.
Absolutely. And that's why I think urine therapy, it just goes in and fixes what needs to be fixed. It all by itself, you know, even things that you didn't even know that you had. I feel like it goes in and fixes that, you know.
It finds it.
It finds it. That's right. That's right.
You
Yeah.
have to trust. You have to trust in yourself. You have to trust in the feelings and the things that are guiding you and pulling you. You have to believe in your own power.
It's really just, believing in yourself, believing, like, I mean, we know that a phone, you know, it's got amazing camera and it's got this technology and I can talk to people. Well, it's just an imitation of this body. You know, this body is the ultimate technology. And why wouldn't it come with a medicine inside? You know, it's so simple. It's got the cameras and the speakers and the listening device. It's got everything. Why wouldn't it come with a medicine inside?
So, I mean, people talk about urine as a waste product, and we need to clarify that it's, you know, what would you call it?
The product of the blood. It's a product of blood filtration, not waste filtration. And we can even see that in the name. It's the medical name for urine is plasma ultrafiltrate. So, I mean, it's telling you right there that it's a byproduct of blood filtration and not waste filtration. And, you know, the urine comes through the same opening as the semen, the life force, the urethra. Why would God send our life force through a sewer before conception? It doesn't make any sense when you start to, you know, niddle these things out.
Logic. Like, you've got to use logic to come out of that programming that we have, that this is gross, this is disgusting, things that keep the thoughts that keep you away from
just a little bit of research, just a tiny bit of research. And I mean, everybody knows that if you get stung by a jellyfish, you can pee on yourself and it will help it. And nobody thinks that's weird. You know, oh, I got stung by a jellyfish on the weekend, I peed on myself. Good, did it work? Great for you. But it's because we know that. It's like, you know, we've grown up with that information. So it's just about changing our perspective into like, oh, hang on a minute. It also helped my insomnia. It also helped my depression. It also helped a big cut I've got on myself, or a 3rd degree burn, or, you know, cancer. It's just really about switching that perspective and listening to the people who it is helping. And there's thousands of testimonials. So I think people just need to go into it with an open mind and really, really calm yourself and get to the logic. Go to the logic and look into it with an open mind.
Excellent. What about veganism?
Yep.
Do we need to be vegan?
Yes, I do believe veganism is crucial. Absolutely crucial. The first step to awakening, I truly believe, is veganism. I think if we are not sympathetic to others, and we don't have empathy, emotional intelligence is really the most important thing. So I am a very, very passionate vegan. And that was another thing that really drove me to go public with all my mucoid plaque and my detoxification, was because I saw people going back from veganism to flesh because of health issues. And I really, really think that unless you are removing this stuff from your intestines, you cannot blame your health issues on veganism. The intestines, the colon has to be cleaned before any deep healing can take place, because the colon correlates to all of the body. It is responsible for all health, just like, you know, in reflexology, our feet correlate to all the organs, and, you know, the colon's working the exact same way. So it is just crucial that we get it cleaned and emptied. And veganism is really the only way that's going to happen.
In the right direction, veganism, though, but we have to go further than veganism.
Yes.
And that's the trap, I think, where people kind of step into veganism and then they stay just with veganism, especially if they're even entering veganism with the protein, the false meats and
mock meats.
They're still, you know,
they're good transition foods.
Right, transition,
but
introduction.
But we can't stay on that plateau. We have to keep going, because, or I like to say, vegan for the animals, fruitarian for your health, and oron therapy for healing, and fasting, oron therapy and healing for
urine is the medicine.
It's the bridge.
Is the medicine.
Yep.
Fruits allow the body to clean out. and purify and come back to your very, very best. So vegan is the entry level because it's an intention. It's a shift in our intention that now my world, I don't need to kill or harm any other being in the planet that's alive.
Yes. Yes.
That's an intentional shift.
Absolutely, and crucial to move forward, I think, because when we can have compassion for other beings, I mean, if we don't want something done to us, then we shouldn't do it to others. Yeah,
through empathy.
Exactly.
I'm not putting out into my world murder and killing because I have to just carry myself through my day. So by making that shift, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't need you to eliminate food and meat entirely, but let's say most of the time. 80% of the time, Monday to Friday, let's try to keep those things less. If you're doing that multiple times a day, can we get it to once a day? If you're doing it once a day, can we move that to the weekend? Can we move it to the weekend? Let's spend the most of our time intentionally. We're trying to engage with our world in a way I am not putting out anything that needs to kill another being.
Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
my time.
Absolutely. Yep. Do unto others
perfection. We don't need to go the other way where we are like hating people for
no, gosh, no.
This or that.
No.
We can't be the other polarized the other way. We have to be able to be accepting of all that is here.
Absolutely.
People that are engaging in this and people that are not. We have to love everyone.
Absolutely. And I think like really, showing people about veganism, it really is loving them. Even if we are firm and we, speak up and on behalf of the animals, it really is coming from a place for loving them, because when we come out of that matrix, we well, for me, speaking for myself personally, like all I wished is that I'd gone vegan sooner. You will beat yourself up when you realize what is being done to these innocent beings, and it's not easy to deal with. So I think when we encourage people to go vegan, it's really coming from a place of loving them, and also the karmic implications. I do believe that there's karmic implications. So what we give, we get. Our energetic footprint, the frequency and vibration that we put out into the planet,
our intentions, the things we're thinking, the things we're saying, what we put out.
It all comes back.
It all comes back. So in order for us to change what we want and get in our life, we've got to change what we're putting out. That means psychologically, energetically, and what we're putting out with our words, and what we're putting out with our habits and our behaviors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If we want change, we have to be, we have to be the change. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We create a life by the things we think, by the things we say, and the habits and behaviors that we do. If we want to change our life, we've got to change the things we think. We've got to change the things we say, and then the habits and behaviors follow. But it always starts with thought first. It comes from thought reality.
And then into the 3D.
Reality with sound. Okay, so what we say comes next. And then the habits and behaviors are the final thing to change. They change as we think, receive and think different thoughts and say different things. And then the habits and behaviors follow. So it's a process of re-educating ourselves with new information. Opening ourselves to new ideas, not perhaps knowing all of the answers.
No, gosh, no.
It's unlearn a little bit of what we've learned.
Yep, absolutely. And it's really like becoming a baby again, I guess you could say. And every day you learn something new. I mean, I feel like I'm in prep. I'm literally in prep, learning. I still have so much learning to do. And so when people message me and they ask for help, I always say, this isn't gospel. What I'm saying isn't gospel. I'm just saying what works for me.
This is what I've realized. But you're always trying to encourage them to go into themselves.
Yes, and you do what I've done, and then you'll come back to me and tell me new things
inside of you.
Yes,
You know,
and
when
then
people are trying to get all of the answers from you, they're not believing in themselves. Look, I'm trying to. I have to give you a little bit of tough love here, and I have to push you away because I need you to find that inside of yourself by working through the practice this week. Listen, this week,
right.
I want you to not do this and not do that. And then we'll talk at the end of the week.
Yeah.
You have had the practice of doing it. But I can't
Exactly.
answer your question right now until you work through the process a little bit yourself and spend time standing up to your craving, your desire, your want that's calling you. And you're going to stand up to that and realize, oh, there's joy here.
Mm-hmm.
There's joy right here where I am, because there's...
And in your own experience. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like a lot of people will message me with so many questions for urine therapy, like this and that. They've got so many worries. And I say, this is the safest practice in existence. You do not have to worry about anything. You can't do anything wrong. You know, there's no wrong. It's simple. It's really, really simple. You don't have to fear anything. It's not like, I guess people are used to taking medications and make sure you eat and do this and follow all these orders. There's no orders. Just, you know, go into a glass and drink. let it age. Put a lid on it. Just, you don't have to do anything. It's doing it for you.
And the aged urine bit of it, that comes a little bit after. I encourage people, just start. Maybe just put it on your skin. Maybe just watch it. See what it does to your skin. And then when you see what it does to your skin, you're going to go, oh my gosh, if it's doing that on the outside of my body, what would it do if I put it inside of my body?
Exactly.
What would it do to the inside? So just start off, look, just first put it on your skin for a few days and see what happens to your skin. Notice what's happening to your pores. And then you go, oh my gosh, that's healing me externally. I want to try to heal me internally, and the same.
Exactly.
And it's an even more magical experience.
Exactly. When I felt the benefit of it, I had to tell people. I say, start with fresh. By all means, start with fresh. Fresh was amazing for me. It was like changed my whole life.
Until you're inspired for more. Don't even worry about that age.
Don't even worry about it.
You know what? That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing, but it's not a starter thing. Let's start.
You don't have to start with that.
Start off with fresh urine, and let's just start off with a foot bath or putting it on our skin topically. Yes,
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not so hard because some people want to jump right in and maybe some people who have more serious illnesses or something like that to heal. It's not so hard to just clip your nose and scull the aged urine and then put the drops of the cinnamon oil or the peppermint oil on your tongue, and there's no taste. You don't even have to taste anything. You can feel it. I mean, I get goosebumps. My whole arm's up in goosebumps when I drink it. It's so the possibilities are endless. Truly endless.
We truly have everything that we need to change our lives. It's really just a change of mind that has to happen. It's stepping into fear. Mm-hmm. It's stepping into uncertainty.
Yes. Doing something that you haven't done before.
Into the unknown.
Yeah.
And that's scary, and we understand. And that's why we're doing the things that we're doing, to try and encourage people to try to be candid and try to be open and try to put ourselves out there, because we want people to know that they can really change their life.
Yes, on the other side of that fear, it sounds so cliche, but just on the other side of that fear is a whole new dimension of possibilities and loving yourself.
Oh my gosh, my life can be so much more than it is if I stop believing all of the stuff that I've got inside here and I just start removing some of it, getting some of the stuff out. Health is really within us.
Absolutely, and it ends the chase. It ends the chase for so many other areas of our life too. Whatever you're chasing, once you start urine therapy, I really feel like it starts chasing you. And you don't know, you can just chill, just chill and take a sip and everything, starts to happen.
In every single aspect of your life.
Yes.
With your health, with your wealth, with your relationships, with your
Yes.
future plans, with your clarity, with your vision,
Yes.
you know, where you're going, what you want to do, who you want to be. It clearly, it all changes. It all begins to change.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. So nice to spend
Thank you,
time
John.
today, Jessie. Very
It was
inspiring
wonderful.
for me. So wonderful.
Likewise.
Thanks for making contact. Thanks for
Thank you.
allowing this time. Thanks for staying up late and being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So hopefully we do it again in 6 months or a year. We'll contact you
I would love that.
and see how we're doing.
I would love that.
Awesome.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Great.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We alkalize to realize the body is the temple, water is the source of life. We breathe in life and then we synthesize. This liquid sun will free your glands and begin to decalcify. Peer through your third eye, see through the lies and give your body what it's missing. We dehydrated, and that's the human condition. But when you clean the body and believe the body, you set yourself up to receive the body. See, it's a sharp knife, that's the water of life. It's like a sword cutting parasites down the sides. It takes a certain kind of faith to know that you're divine. And if it comes from urethra, then it's alkaline. We serve in truth, and it don't matter how weird it really gets. It's the linchpin ascended masters to initiates. We alkalize to realize. Open your mind and find you had it inside this whole damn time. We alkalize to realize. Open your mind and find you had it inside this whole damn time. You had it inside this whole damn time.